What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. This is episode number 2. And you know what's very unrealistic, Doxy boy? Danjuma playing for Everton. Yes, I want to talk about this to start today's episode off. Now, I don't think anyone saw this coming unless you were the most ambitious of Spurs fans, but it does appear as though Danjuma was going to be announced as an Everton player some point today on the 24th of January, but instead he's not gone to Finch Farm. Instead, he's off to North London to go ahead and join Spurs. It seems as though Conte and Levy have hijacked the deal and he's going to join Tottenham Hotspur on a loan deal. Now, I did not see that coming, of course, otherwise I wouldn't have brought him in. I recorded this gameplay footage last night for those curious as well. So, the original plan was this. I was going to have Danjuma for this season and then either keep him for Season 2 if there was an optional transfer fee included in the loan deal to Everton, which was likely to go through again today or possibly tomorrow at the latest. And then I would, let him go on a free if there was no optional fee, but keep him if there was one. But now, Danjuma isn't going to Everton, and instead he's going to Spurs, so in the grand scheme of trying to keep things as realistic as possible, what I'll be doing is, in this episode, which again I recorded last night, I'll keep him for this one, and then if the Danjuma deal to Spurs goes through, I probably would assume tonight or perhaps tomorrow morning, then I will release Danjuma for his contract and he'll become a free agent. So he would have played a grand total of, I think, 5 games for us this season, and that will be the end of him. So, yeah, I do apologise, not much I can do about that. I genuinely thought, okay, well, I'll have Danjuma for this season. Obviously, I can't negotiate a loan deal because of the way the transfer market works in FIFA Career Mode, but at least that's realistic enough as a signing that we're bringing. And, no, it actually turns out that he's going to Spurs. I mean, I don't think anyone really saw that coming, especially after what Fabrizio said, here we go, he's normally a banker. Anyway, for the first game of today's episode, he did not score in a 2-1 loss away at Craven Cottage. I'm heading to London for this game here. I say heading to London, staying in London. We were against Fulham in the Carabao Cup in midweek, so stayed in London for this game. Once again, another battle at Craven Cottage. Once again, lost it, conceding 2. This time to get a goal back through Anthony Gordon, not Aaron Gordon. Thank you to those who pointed out in the last episode. Yes, my NBA brain was not adapting back to football there, but he's got a good jump on him apparently, Anthony Gordon. But Anthony Gordon got us back in the game. Decided to lose the game there. So, tough start to the season for Everton. 2 losses in our first 3 Premier League games. When you consider the fact that the 3 teams we faced are newly promoted, all 3 newly promoted, that's not a good start, is it? That's not a good start, for a team that want to survive comfortably this year. That is my main aim, again, around 11th to 15th place. 2 defeats in 3, and again, all being against newly promoted sides. That's not a good start. It's not a good start at all, but it is kind of what we expected. So when deadline day came round, again, obviously this footage was recorded last night when it seemed as though Danjuma, we were going to wake up to a picture of him in the Everton shirt. To this morning is still here. I decided not to bring anyone in on deadline day. Now I was considering Ndiaye, who is of course the really talented young Senegalese footballer for Sheffield United. In the end, opted against it for now. It might well end up being a good thing that I decided to do that, because of what we've seen with Danjuma. He might be going to Liverpool or something between the end of the end of the window and now. So I decided to keep him at Sheffield United just for now, just to play it safe really for the realism. But I might well bring him in the January transfer window. And I certainly will if he completes the move to Everton between now and the end of the window in real life. So, yeah, decided to keep the cash. Again, we've got a little bit of money remaining, not too much. But ultimately, I would say at the moment, if I'm going to bring anyone in, I want to make definite sure they are going to sign for Everton. Because after that Danjuma scandal, I was like, okay, the only signing I'll make for the window is a player we know is going to come in. And now he's not. It's typical, isn't it? So, anyway, following game, Leeds United at Goodison Park, back home. So far, our only win this season coming with the Toffees at Goodison Park, taking on Jesse Marsh's side. Once again, could be an early relegation 6-pointer here. You never know with Leeds. So, taking them on here at Goodison. We won our first game at home. Wanted to have back-to-back wins here in front of the Goodison Park faithful. Well, he did get a goal, and whilst we'll be seeing him score at North London possibly, between now and the end of the season, this might well be one of his final goals for us. Yet Danjuma did get a goal here to make it 1-1, put us back on level terms after we fell behind. But this is a crazy end to the game night. I've got to be honest here. Jordan Pickford, obviously wearing a captain's armband in the albums of Seamus Coleman. I'll be honest here. Pickford has this this meme that he's got T-Rex arms, and I do kind of understand what people mean when they say that. Sometimes I think the criticism of Pickford can be a little bit critical, a little bit too critical. He's a good shot stopper on his day, but he does have a mistake in him. Everyone knows that, and he's a very decent goalkeeper. He's been Everton's #1 for many years now. But I'll be honest here, man, how he didn't save that second goal, I've got no idea. That was one of those moments where T-Rex arms was on full display. Brendan Harrison somehow managed to stroke it into the near post. I don't know how Pickford didn't keep that one out there. Thankfully, DCL did get us a goal to level it right at the end. You would have seen for this game as well, I opted to play 4-4-2. In the last episode, a lot of you guys were giving me transfer suggestions and tactics suggestions. Really appreciate that. Any more for me, please do put them in the comments down below. But a lot of you guys, well, quite a few of you guys were saying, play a 4-4-2, put DCL and Danjuma up top together and have a more balanced attack and try and get more goals that way. Everton obviously being one of the lowest scorers in the Premier League this year, having two up top might well wield me some better results. And yeah, I played 4-4-2 for that game, and I'll be honest, I did get some good chances, especially late on in the game, hence why I scored 2 goals in 15 minutes. DCL starting that game for the first time in the league, yeah, he was really good. So if we do end up losing Danjuma in the very near future, which again I will do if he goes to Spurs, I promise I will release him out of fairness. Yeah, DCL, good to see him with a man of the match display there, ensuring we would at least, at the very least, get a point. So following game, away at the Etihad Stadium here against Manchester City, taking on Pep Guardiola's side. Well, obviously you would have seen it was a really good result for Everton just a few weeks ago with Frank Lampard getting a point there away at the champions. So I was thinking, hey, maybe I can get one as well. Unfortunately, no, I could not. Yeah, Erling Haaland and Ben Godfrey had a fantastic tussle in that game. If you've not seen the little video of Erling Haaland mocking Ben Godfrey, it's pretty funny, I've got to be honest here. The facial expression was hilarious, but it's safe to say Ben Godfrey probably had the last laugh there. A point for Everton, much more valuable than a point for Manchester City. Unfortunately, in this game, I could not replicate the same kind of performance with Godfrey. Yep, Haaland did score the second goal as Manchester City went 2-0 up. I got back in the game for a cutback. DCL second in 2, getting us a goal to make it 2-1, just like in the game against Fulham, though, unfortunately. The goal back proved to be nothing other than a consolation. Manchester City stretched their lead back to 2. Soon afterwards, Riyad Mahrez, yeah, gloved Mahrez, his best Mahrez, wasn't wearing him in this game here, but even so, got the goal to make it 3-1. I tell you what, man, like there's certain players who like gloved Kaka and gloved Mahrez, man, they are just so good. But anyway, that made it 3-1 courtesy of the Algerian there, and then Haaland made it 4 of his second of the game with 5 minutes to go. Yep, safe to say Ben Godfrey did not have the same sort of luck in this game as he did in real life. Yep, torn apart, I'll be honest here, by Erling Haaland, who, as we know, is so good and looking very likely to obliterate that golden boot record. I was reading recently, he's already, after that hat-trick on the weekend, he's already got 4 hat-tricks already this season for Manchester City. It's just unbelievable, isn't it? It's absolutely incredible. And, I said before, my football predictions are normally very bad, which is why I always say take them with a very minor pinch of salt. But, I have watched Haaland ever since his days at Salzburg, and I just knew this guy had the potential to be one of the best players in world football in just a few years' time and go down as one of the greatest strikers of all time. I think it's safe to say after this start of Manchester City, that's a prediction. I do feel it is pretty nailed on at this rate. He is just incredible, just a total machine. Anyway, following game, first Merseyside derby. A little bit nervous heading to this game here at Goodison, but what a fantastic start. Amadou Onana, who I think has been Everton's best signing this season, gets his first goal to save for me. Brilliant finish with the left foot as well as we take the lead. You would have seen me there absolutely loving it on the sidelines as Onana gives us a shock lead against Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. But once again, 17 minutes in, Jordan T-Rex arms Pickford. How does he not save that? Luis Diaz scuffs his shot, and yes, it clips the inside of the post to go in, but Pickford was already guarding that near post. I've got no idea how he didn't save that, man. That was really poor goalkeeping, at least by my book, and even so, it's 1-1, and Thiago completes the turnaround, and the Reds go in front soon afterwards. So, yeah, absolutely collapsed here at Goodison, akin to their collapse against Southampton not too long ago in real life. Yeah, Liverpool from a goal down go to lead 2-1. They're in front, and somehow with 9 minutes to go, well, only I can take the blame for this. DCL, who's really been on it in the recent games here. I don't know how on earth I didn't score there. I hit it straight at Alisson, an inch to the left or an inch to the right, and it finds the back of net. Instead, all I could do is hit the Brazilian. It was still 2-1. Liverpool was still in front. We would manage to get back on level terms through that man, the ghost striker, who we may not have after this episode again. Yep, Danjuma going through one-on-one with Alisson. Lovely ball roll to shift it onto his right foot and bends it in bottom corner. It's not a win, it is a draw, and it means our poor run of form continues, but at least it is a point in my first Merseyside derby. Would have been really big to have had our first loss at Goodison this season, especially against a rival team. So I'm just glad enough to know we avoided defeat in what is a hotly contested derby. So 2-2 the final score, a draw there, but a tough start for Everton. 6 games into the season and just a 1 win on the board. We're likely going to lose our top scorer Danjuma in the next episode for the realism as well. It's been a very tough beginning at Goodison Park, but it's realistic and it's exactly what we were expecting. But that will end today's episode of the Realistic Career, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. If you have, then please do drop a like. Most of you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode, probably without Danjuma, very soon.